Hello guys. So I did take some advice from my last building video. Some people were saying I probably went a little bit too big for my first try. So I've decided to move over to redoing the apartments to begin with, because I think that'll help a bit and it'll just slow it down a little bit for me so I can figure out what I'm doing and I don't have to worry about the windows as much or the exterior of the building like at all. I can just focus on the building aspect, which I think is a lot better to start off with. Now, I can't remember exactly which apartment building I chose, but it was one of the rundown ones, okay? I chose the smallest one I could find, and I was just gonna make it a 1-bedroom apartment. Now, definitely a couple could live here, but I was imagining a single sim living by themselves here. So I did actually kind of go with more of a green theme, as you'll see for this specific build. I'm not sure why, but it just kind of spoke to me. So I did that. And also I actually really like these windows that are on this building, but I did decide to do sort of like a sunken in lounge room section. Now I did struggle with this a bit. Again, I don't know what I was doing, but I kept losing the platform, so it took a couple times to get it right, but we got there in the end. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed this. I think it took me about an hour and a half to do, but it was a lot of fun only having to worry about the floor plan and the decorating of it all. So I think my next one will probably still be another apartment revamp, because it was honestly just a lot of fun and it was a lot less stressful than trying to build a house. That being said, I would really like to get better at building, obviously, but it's taking a little bit longer than I thought it would. That being said, okay, I've only filmed one episode of building. Like, I need to give myself a break. I'm trying my best. But no, I had a lot of fun. I kind of wish I did change the wallpaper. I did keep it that wallpaper just because I wanted to find something a little more mundane to kind of go with the building, because when you're renting an apartment, you obviously don't get to choose your appliances 95% of the time, nor the wallpaper. Now, obviously, all of this like appliances and stuff are actually very nice, but I kind of wanted to keep the walls kind of a mundane color that you would expect in an apartment. I also don't hate the walls. It's just, I feel like I could have found like a really cute wallpaper instead. But these countertops and stuff came in the new base game update we got a couple weeks ago now, and I have used them in every single house now. I am obsessed with them. I think that was such a nice addition to the game. They even look like custom content. And I figured out how to move stuff on the counters so you can put it wherever you want. I figured out how to do that. It was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I said last episode, I was like, I'm not even going to attempt to try and do that. Turns out it's really simple and easy to do. So that was good. Now, I really wanted to use those big lights that I found, but I decided probably not for this build. So I just put like a cute 3 little hanging lights over the top of the counter. My main predicament with this apartment was lighting, because it's not the nicest lighting during the day in this apartment, to be honest. So my biggest goal was just to get as much lighting as possible. I do actually love how this kitchen turned out, but it took me so long to find a nice rug because there just wasn't one that was the right size that I wanted. So, you know, I did end up going with one of the earlier ones I found, but there just wasn't the perfect sized rug for my kitchen, because the kitchen is a bit on the smaller side. Like, if I had it one more counter long ways, I could have fit most of the carpets, but because it was a little bit smaller, it was rather difficult to achieve, but that's okay. Now, also in this build, I was not the biggest fan of the bedroom I made. I think I just made it a little bit too big, and I kind of wanted it to be small and homey. But it's honestly not terrible. Obviously, we're not even anywhere near the bedroom, but that's the only thing in this apartment that I kind of didn't like. Everything else I didn't mind. And the entryway I ended up not liking the most, but I'm still proud of myself. I think it didn't turn out too badly. So yeah, this is when I decided to move into the living room. Now, I was having some trouble with the stairs, and I realized that I'm going to have to make the sunken in living room a bit bigger, which I did end up doing. That being said, it was probably for the best because it was quite a small living room otherwise. Now, with this living room as well, as you were seeing a little bit, I actually didn't end up even giving it a TV, because every TV I chose looked weird with like the sunken in living room. So, you know, the normal person would probably just stop trying to make a sunken in living room, but I was so determined that that was not an option. Also, because obviously it's just an apartment And since it's so small, I just wanted to give it some contrast, you know what I mean? Just to switch it up a bit so at least it looks kind of like not just one ball of things. That is not the right way to describe it, but I feel like you feel like you guys get what I'm trying to say, all right? So yeah, this is when I decided that I was going to try and put a TV. Did not end up doing that. I tried so many different alternatives. None of them worked out for me. I could see what I wanted in my head. It just was not going to work with the vibe. Because I think I don't know what the wall height is in this apartment actually, but I feel like they're quite high walls, unless I'm just tripping, but yes, this is me trying to get the TV to work, but I just couldn't get it to work. Also, I think I should have put the lighting I wanted down there before I tried to start doing this, because I think a lighting played a big part into why I wasn't liking this section of the house. But I did end up deciding to go with a fireplace, which I think was a really good option. And then I really wanted to put in a Christmas tree. I didn't, don't worry. But I really think the fireplace was a good addition. Now, I pretty much spent a lot of this building just trying to look through the menu and look at all the options there are. Just because later on when I do decide to do bigger builds, I at least kind of know what other options there are to use. Because a lot of the time, especially because I just play like legacy challenges and stuff like that, we don't get a lot of money, okay? If you watch any of those, you know that we aren't exactly rich. So we have the very like bare essentials of what we need. So I don't even know half the items in the game because we can't afford them. So it was kind of fun building without any budget in mind, just so I could kind of see everything that is up for offer. And it actually makes me excited to continue playing my legacy challenge so that when we do inevitably get more money one day, I will be able to decorate it, hopefully a lot better. But yeah, I decided from now on, I think sticking with a color or aesthetic would be a lot easier for me to build, because I think my problem is I go in with so many ideas in mind. If you guys watched my decorating of the family home I built, there was just a lot of different vibes going on in that house. I don't hate the house, I don't, but I wish I didn't try and do such an ambitious project because it wasn't really the best. But yeah, I came into this one being like, I want it to feel cozy. I want it to be like, you know, a single woman living by herself. Like that was kind of the vibe I was going for. And I fell in love with the green countertops. So I decided that the theme of the house was going to be green, because I wanted this house to actually look like it was lived in by someone who obviously put in so much time and effort into their beautiful home. Now, we did move on to the bedroom here. I did end up starting off with this bed. I just could not get it to look the way I wanted it to. I really, really struggled with the bedroom. I think it honestly probably took me the longest out of all the rooms. So I do end up changing this bed. It's just kind of an awkward sized room. And also it was hard with the bathroom as well, because obviously there's only one bathroom in the unit. So you want to have an access just from the hallway. But then I also wanted it to kind of be an ensuite, so you'd have access from the bedroom. So it was kind of hard also with the bathroom, because obviously it's a pretty small bathroom and then both the walls were taken up by a door, but we made it work. But yeah, originally I was trying to maybe fit like a couple into the house, but I ended up moving the bed. I don't know, this doesn't give me couples vibes, you know what I mean? It feels like an independent woman. That's the energy it's giving me, I don't know why. But yeah, so then I tried to do maybe some darker wood tones, but I thought because I went into so adamant with the green, it didn't really make sense to steer away from that as such. So yeah, this is when I gave up. I don't know, like a lot of the beds are cute, but I find a lot of them very hard to use in just like everyday builds. That's probably just a skill issue though, but I don't know. I like the single beds a lot more than the double beds, but I kind of wanted a double bed for this house. There were a lot of cute green beds actually. None of them were just exactly what I wanted. And I also thought maybe having a green bed would be too much. I actually don't remember what bed I ended up going with, because I built this a couple days ago. So I'm actually finding it hard to remember what I ended up choosing. I don't know. This was a lot more difficult for me than I remember. I remember struggling with it, but I didn't remember it taking this long. And then I decided to blame it on the rug. And I was like, no, the rug's the problem. It's not me. So then I went to go find a new rug, which was a mission and a half. They have some very nice rugs on this game, they do, but the sizing of the rugs, I just don't even want to talk about it. And then you try and size it up and it's way too big, and you size it down and it's like tiny. I did not realize my dog was laying behind me and that scared me. So I did kind of struggle with that, but I did use the desk from the little Simsy Cozy Gamer Kit. As I said, I am obsessed with the desk. I did just go with a light wood tone color for it though, because I didn't want to overuse the greens. But then the desk chair I used was green, and then so was the PC setup. But the clutter that comes with the Cozy Gamer Kit is unmatched. Like the little water bottle, are you kidding me? I'm absolutely obsessed. I did, of course, end up cluttering the desk with it. It's just such a good pack. I can see myself using it constantly. I literally already am, you know what I mean? But I actually had a lot of fun with decorating this apartment. I was gonna originally do it as like decorating my dream apartment, but to be honest, I never have really dreamt of living in an apartment. I've always wanted to own like my own property, like my own home. But once I get a bit better, I will eventually post me attempting to build my dream apartment. It's also because this probably wasn't going to be the right size for my dream apartment. So I decided that probably wasn't the best idea. Also because I've only been building for like 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I get a bit better first. Don't ask me why I used that art. Look. I just wanted one big art piece in this room, and that was the best one I could find, and I weirdly really like it. It's just a little strange. Yeah, look at that water bottle. How cute is that water bottle? And like I'm obsessed. Absolutely obsessed. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed cluttering up this desk. I wanted to make it look a little bit more lived in. I don't know if I really succeeded with that, but I tried. And then also I didn't put a bedside table, so I did just put the little book nook sort of tray thing next to the bed, just because I felt like there had to be something there. But yeah, I don't know, sometimes I feel like the bedside tables just look a bit weird. I don't know, I found it really hard. And then yeah, moving on to the bathroom. Now I did not have a lot of space to work with, and the doors did create quite a lot of issues for me. This shower, I don't know, I must have only just like bought the pack that it comes with recently, because I've never seen it before. I'm obsessed with it. It is so stunning, and like that muted green color, stop it. Then actually found a rug very quickly for this room, which was great. I did add a little bit of clutter, but to be honest, there wasn't the most space to work with, so I didn't want to over clutter the space. I did add a little robe that I thought was cute, and of course I got a nice mirror, but yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest. There wasn't much space for anything else. I was trying to show you guys and just failing miserably. But I don't mind it, you know, obviously it's nothing exciting, but I feel like a lot of people's bathrooms in real life are nothing exciting. I know mine sure isn't. It's a mess. So I felt like that was the most realistic I could get it. And then I was kind of struggling with this weird hallway because it is a bit bigger. I was trying to find some rugs and stuff to use, but then it was just looking too perfect. So yeah. So then this is me working on the entryway, which did actually take me a while because the wall where the door is, I didn't want to leave it blank, but I struggled a lot to find good artwork to use, but you guys will see that in a minute. But I also did spend this time just looking through stuff that I haven't even looked at before, because a lot of weird bits and bobs that I never would have thought to use that I just wanted to look through, as I said, because I want to, you know, get a feel for everything. Now, I don't know if I overplanted in this apartment. I do love a good plant. I feel like it really adds to a space, but I think it was a little too much. So it did take me a while to find exactly what I was looking for. And then just because the wall height, I find it really hard of like where to put stuff on the wall. So it took me a while. All I'm saying is it took me a while. But I do really like this mirror. Again, I'm pretty sure it came one of the packs I must have ordered relatively recently. But yeah, I did want to put a full-length mirror in just because there isn't one in the build otherwise. And I thought it'd be like a cute place where you can see your outfit before you leave the house. And I also really wanted a shoe rack at the front of the house, which I do eventually end up putting. But it took me so long to find it. I don't know what I was doing wrong. Also, this mirror is like weirdly thin, don't you think? Anyways, yeah, it took me so long to find it. I was like, there's no way that it like what? I thought it just disappeared from the game. But then I eventually found it and it was all okay again. But yeah, just looking through clutter. Half of this video is me just looking through clutter because then I had that like weird part of the wall that was bare. So I did end up putting, I don't know if I ended up getting rid of it, but I put this like weird plant thing on it, which I would now go back and remove if I was to actually play in this build, because I just wasn't the biggest fan of how it looked. but I just didn't want to leave the wall bare. But I honestly think I was overdoing it at this point. Like, I think it's okay to have a wall that's empty, because I guess my house probably isn't a good example, because as you can see behind me, my walls are filled with photos, like filled with photos. So I don't know, maybe I was just trying to create the same vibe. I'm just so used to, in real life, having so many pictures and stuff on the walls, that in the game I try and recreate that, and it just doesn't really work that well. I do know that you can go into the gallery and like download paintings and stuff that people, or like their Sims do, and you can use those in the builds, which maybe would have been a good idea, because then I could just like pick a specific color or vibe. But to be honest, it just seemed like a lot of effort. And I also thought it would be hard to download if I'm in an apartment setting. So I decided probably best not to do that. I did end up finding that painting to put on the top of the door, which I am absolutely obsessed with. I think that poster or whatever is stunning. And then, yeah, I put the 2 little lights next to the door as well, which I think actually kind of helped the place quite a bit, to be honest. I just needed something, and I kind of wanted some more warm lighting. Now, I am quite proud of myself for the lighting aspect. I kind of wish I didn't put as many hanging lights down the hallway. That was probably a bit unnecessary. It might have looked better if the hallway was more closed in rather than so open. But I just really wanted to focus on getting the right lighting, because I think a lot of the time I don't like what I build because I don't like the lighting, which sounds so silly. But yeah, I also put a guitar and an easel just so there is some skill building items. And then I was trying to find a rug to put in this corner, but it just looked too weird, to be honest with you. Looking back now, it doesn't look as weird as I thought it did, but I ended up putting, this like paint splatter kind of rug thing, and I just sized it down one just so it wouldn't be on the guitar as well. And then, this is me trying to fill up wall space, again, just for something new. So I did really want to use that neon light, but I forgot about it until last minute, and there was no way I was going to be able to fit it into the build, so I just have to give up on that dream. But there's so much random clutter that I want to figure out how to use one day, so it could be fun. Maybe I do a video of like building an apartment based off one piece of clutter that I want to use. But yeah, this is me attempting just to make the house look more lived in by getting that kind of board thing with all the little knickknacks and whatnot. I just felt like that made it look that someone was actually living here. And then, just trying to find more wall art. And then this is the finished product. Oh, we're in the wall. Oh, okay, yeah. So this is the kitchen. I am absolutely obsessed with it. I actually am quite proud of myself for this one. And then, of course, we have like the living area with the fireplace and the bookshelf. I think it looks super duper cozy. And then this is the bedroom. Now, it's okay. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but I think it's a nice contrast. Kind of matches the rest of the apartment. And then same with the bathroom. Very bland. I probably could have put a photo on top of the toilet, but that's okay. And then, this is the hallway. That's the grass kind of thing on the wall I was talking about. I'm not the biggest fan of. That's pretty much everything, guys. But thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you guys have any tips. I'm actually very, very proud of this build. So I hope you guys are proud of me. But thank you guys, and I will see you in a couple days. Bye.